Something that has been going on for a long time in this spiritual community is people are trying to bring fear into the game to control people. The spiritual community is being censored. Something is taking place in the spiritual community. They've tried to share the truth and then boom, someone comes in and controls them at a certain level. This community is well and truly infiltrated. I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my entire being. How are you feeling right now, beautiful soul? So today I wanted to share some truth. I wanted to pull the card on this so-called spiritual community that is behaving in a certain way. Ever since I've started making videos, I've always said, don't ever believe a word that comes out of my mouth. Go into your own heart and question. Don't ever believe a word that comes out of anyone's mouth. Go into your heart, use discernment and question. One thing that I've always shared with people is this: you are your own power. I am no guru, I am no master. I'm just Jerry, kid from the streets that shifted and found a new way of being in this world. Kid from the streets that used to smuggle drugs, bank fraud, all different criminal activities. And now I travel the world sharing Star Magic Healing with thousands and thousands of people. And the frequency that we bring, it helps people transform, it helps people elevate, upgrade. It helps people shift. We show human beings how to step into their own power and be their superhuman selves. I'm an advocate for empowerment. I don't want to take anyone's power away from them. I want everybody to realize that no one is coming to save them. And for them to truly be in this world, they got to take a deep dive into their own heart, because all of the answers come from within. Yes, other people can be guides and signposts and mirrors and triggers, but ultimately the whole game is designed to get you to go into your own heart, because all the answers to all of your questions lie within your own genetics. They lie within your own soul fabric. They lie within your own energetic templates. We are all fractals of God's source intelligence. If you look into another human being's eyes, what are you going to see? You're going to discover yourself. You're going to see the light, the frequency, the code, the mathematical vibration that ultimately is a reflection of you. And in my case, me, okay? We're all fractals of this same frequency, experiencing life in different vessels, working it all out like a great big jigsaw puzzle. It would be a bit silly if Source, God, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, manifested into 9 billion humans that all look the same, that all behave the same. So God wants to have all these different experiences. Remember, when we're talking about God, we're not talking about some benevolent old gentleman that sits on the pearly gates that sends you to hell for being bad and heaven for being good. God is a frequency, God is love, God is energy, God is geometry. God is mathematics, God is code, energy, man, vibration. Something that has been going on for a long time in this spiritual community is people are trying to bring fear into the game to control people. Now, danger is real, but fear is a choice. Love and fear are on the same vibrational spectrum, they're just at different ends. And you get to choose love or fear. Anything else that goes down and up the vibrational spectrum to meet in the middle are just diluted versions of love or fear. You have dark and light. Ultimately, we want to bring that into balance in the middle. You don't want to push the dark to the side or the light to the side, and you don't want to just throw yourself into the light or into the dark. You want to bring them into equilibrium. It's all about balance, that middle road. There are just experiences in this human game. Now, people are sharing information. Some people are channeling this information. Some people are getting this information from wherever they get this information from. But it's all about doom and gloom. It's all about fear porn. It's all about shitty information that they're using to control the narrative. And you have so many people that are out there with really incredible skills, tools, information to share with the human race that can actually elevate and upgrade consciousness, expand consciousness, and allow these human beings to take these tools, these skills, this information, and empower themselves to the nth degree and beyond. Now, what we do with Star Magic is incredible. What we do works. It actually works. I'm in Sedona now, but last weekend I was in Florida. A lady that had her thyroid taken out. Her thyroid grew back in about 2 seconds in a group healing. How is that even possible? I've worked with people with their lungs not functioning. I've done a remote distance healing session and all of their lungs come back online. Someone that couldn't even walk up the stairs is now doing marathons. People that had brain tumors in their heads the size of oranges that were told they'd be dead in 8 weeks now don't have a brain tumor and they're still alive 6-7 years later, healthy and vibrant, loving life. People that were in wheelchairs, they've been in wheelchairs for 10 plus years and now they're out of those wheelchairs. People with stage 5C, completely smashed and bust up in a wheelchair, and now out of the wheelchair thriving with no C. How is this possible? Because what we show people is how to go back to that original energetic blueprint, that original source code. And from that source code, you can recreate anything. Because the building blocks in the quantum fields are the underlying foundation for everything physical. So you go into the metaphysical world and you can create change in the physical. But most people are trying to heal the physical. Never gonna work. The physical is an extension of the multidimensional. Recently, people that are my friends, people that are my clients, have put me forward for certain podcasts. They've copied me in on the emails, or they've sent the email and sent a response that they've got back from the podcast owners, founders. Now, there's a couple of very specific podcasts that are really big in this community, and people that have put me forward for these podcasts have actually been on these podcasts. Some of these people have been on these podcasts 2 or 3 times, and they've nominated and put me forwards. And they've put me forwards after multiple other people have put me forwards. And the response is, okay, we'll check Jerry out, and if we feel that he's a fit, we'll bring him on. Now, these are so-called spiritual podcasts that are sharing information to the masses. Big followings on Instagram, on YouTube, on the main social media handle. Now, I'm here, people are getting out of wheelchairs. People's eyesight is coming back. People's hearing is coming back. People's spines are straightening from kyphoscoliosis, which is an S shape and corkscrewed. We've got 100% track record on spine adjustments, and we do them at distance. 100% track record, the worst case scenarios you've ever seen. My own story of transformation is just as powerful as anyone else's story of transformation, of how I came from the world that I was in to where I am now. Probably more inspirational than a lot of people. Why is it that these people, these podcast owners, won't let me come on their podcast? I've always wondered. And then about a week ago, after someone else nominates me to one of these podcasts, they forward the email to me. That the response was from this podcast owner, like secretary or podcast booker or whoever it was, assistant. And the email went back to my friend, and my friend forwarded it on to me. But what the podcast owner did is sent the email back to my friend, and she sent it on to me. And there was the email in between the podcast owner and his assistant. And what it said was, we can't have Jerry on. We can't control what he's gonna say. I found that crazy. Are we not supposed to be sharing with the human race freedom, sovereignty, expansion, love? Are we not supposed to be letting the human race know that we're multidimensional beings having a human experience, that we're living on this corrupt planet, and that we have the power to take back control of this planet because we're Stargate Guardians, that we should be speaking our truth and living our truth and sharing whatever the fuck we want to share with the human race, as long as it's going to elevate them, upgrade them, expand them, and fill them full of truth that can ultimately lead to justice in this human world. Why is it that someone in this spiritual community who has a brilliant podcast is stopping certain people going on these podcasts? They're happy to have people on that are sharing channeled messages, doom and gloom messages, certain pieces of information that give people insights into humanity's potential future, this and that, but not when it's actual real tools that people can adopt, take on board, and actually transform from. Why is it that people are not letting people like me and other people onto these podcasts to share real information, real tools that has so much social proof? If you go to my website, and even that word "my" is a bit shitty, our website, because this is a massive team effort with Star Magic Healing. If you go to our website, you're going to see hundreds of case studies. People that have had their bodies healed, their mental and emotional bodies healed, their spiritual bodies healed. People that have had businesses expanded, grown and accelerated. People who are in desperate relationships have had them transformed. We have so much social proof. We've got doctors' evidence of tumors in someone's body and they're not thereafter. We've got all sorts of evidence. We've got people with scars across their body when we've done psychic surgery, okay? We're working at a high level when it comes to healing. Why would someone with a spiritual podcast not want to allow me or anyone else that's doing the same work as me onto their podcast to share this information with the human race so that they can expand and grow, and all of the people that are watching their podcasts can actually take on board some real knowledge and wisdom that will elevate and expand their consciousness, tools that they can use to heal themselves, their friends, their family. Why would you want to keep that shit covered up? Probably the same reason why the cancer charities came after me in 2017, arrested me and tried to lock me up and throw away the key. Probably the same reason that the pharmaceutical companies want to keep people unhealthy, because healthy people don't make money. The spiritual community is being censored, okay? And even this word spiritual, what the fuck does it really mean? Everything has been sideswiped, rolled around, turned over, put through the mincer, and spat out in a million different ways. All the words and the things that we use to describe certain things with the human language is so archaic. Our whole language has been corrupted. Things that, we used to deem as being, for example, spiritual, you can't even call it spiritual anymore. What the heck does spiritual even mean? If you've got a spiritual podcast that won't let someone doing energy healing getting amazing results 24/7, 365, and has been doing it for the last 8 or 9 years, you're stopping them coming on your podcast. And I was always wondering to myself, this is nuts. Why is it people don't want me on their podcast? Now, recently I've got on a couple of awesome podcasts like Sean Kelly and a few other ones, because these people really want to spread the truth. But some of these massive podcasts, they get to a certain level and they get the thumb screws put on them. By who? I'm not sure. Maybe the powers that be that own YouTube, I don't know. But something is taking place in the spiritual community. Something is taking place with these podcast owners. Because if someone came to me and said, Jerry, you can't say this and you can't say that, I'd say, fuck you. I'm going to say whatever I want to say because I have to share the truth. Years ago, I was on BBC Radio talking about energy healing. And it was a Sunday. And they asked me who my hero was. And I said, Bob Marley. And they said, why is Bob Marley your hero? I said, because the CIA tried to murder him, because he was spreading love around the planet. You could see their earpieces going crazy. The woman that was interviewing me was going bright red. They were like, get him off, shut him up. But they couldn't, it was live. So anyway, they never invited me back on again, but I always share the truth. I'm never gonna pull my punches. A lot of these podcasts and a lot of people with their own YouTube channels, they're talking about extraterrestrials coming down to save us. They're talking about Jesus coming back. No one is coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. People talk about Jesus coming back, the return of the Christ. It's the return of Christ consciousness, this crystalline code, this crystal mathematics. It's the return of the Christ within, okay? There is no man or woman coming to save us. There is no extraterrestrial that's going to come down in a spacecraft and save us. Now, there are some amazing beings in the universe that are guiding us and giving us little bits of information here and there to help us expand and grow, to giving us little clues and signposts. I mean, the frequency that is star magic came from higher realms, came from our extraterrestrial sisters and brothers, and they gave it to me to share with the human race. And we're getting amazing results with it. Other people are downloading bits of information that are real and true from higher dimensional beings, and it's awesome. But if you ever speak to another being from another realm, they're never going to tell you, we're going to come down and save you. No, they're going to tell you, it's on you. If you don't stand up and be counted and take back control of your planet, knowing that a small handful of people are controlling 8 or 9 billion, then there's something very, very wrong with you and your brothers and sisters, this human family. You need to grow a pair of bollocks. You need to stand in your truth. You need to man up, unify as the human race, and be the planetary custodians that you came to planet Earth to be the Stargate guardians, the custodians of this sacred Earth. We carry the crystal keys and the crystal codes in our own blueprints, but we're always looking outside for the answers because that's how it's been conditioned, or we've been conditioned. That's how the game has manipulated us. But many of us have woken up and we're sharing the truth. Many people have woken up. They've tried to share the truth. They've got these amazing podcasts. They've got great followings, and then boom, someone comes in and controls them at a certain level. Just like the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight the other night. That was a ritual. Siphoning the energy, siphoning the loosh. All those people watching that fight that was just a crazy low frequency. All of the energy being siphoned through the portal that they call a boxing ring down into the Earth's grids and feeding other beings around the galaxy, negative beings, lower vibrational beings. I've had people come to our trainings, Indian people, and they've got down on their hands and knees and they've tried to kiss my feet. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get up. I love you as my sister or my brother. Okay, I'm no guru, I'm no master. Anyone that calls themselves a master or a guru, they're on an ego trip, man. I'm Jerry, you're whatever your name is, but that's still a false identity, because beyond Jerry, I'm frequency. I am that I am. You know, I'm energy, I know myself. I know who I am, I know what I am. I'm frequency, energy, I'm God source intelligence in this human avatar, interfacing with other streams of consciousness in their avatar vessels. Like I said earlier, you look into someone else's eyes and you see the light, you see the code, you see yourself, you see each other. We're one. Don't put me on a pedestal, but don't put me down either. If you put me down, I'll rise back up. If you put me on a pedestal, I'm going to grab you by the scruff of the neck and lift you up to my level and say, what the fuck are you doing, man? No one is above or below anyone else. On the other hand, we're all on different levels in terms of our frequency and our inner standing of reality, but also they're all just different perspectives of the same game, and nothing is right or wrong. And what we have to do is just to be our very best versions and inspire our sisters and brothers to be their very best versions. We all came down to planet Earth for multiple reasons. You know, we came down here with a game plan. We don't have to stick to that game plan, because ultimately that game plan can be shifted and maneuvered and changed because we have free will. Now, within the framework of that free will, is there really free will? Because if the whole game was scripted from the start and the life plan was kind of laid out, maybe the choices that we're thinking about, we're contemplating this and contemplating that, I'm going to come out of my house and turn left, or maybe I should turn right, or maybe I should go straight on. So we sit there and we contemplate and we ultimately go right or left, or we go straight on. We think we've made a choice. But if we were always going to go straight on, then there was never really any choice to make. It's just the illusion of choice. I don't think we'll ever really know that until we pass back to the other side. Or maybe we will. Maybe you've got the ability to bring your soul and your light body out from your physical structure right now. And if you are able to do that, then you know that once you get out of your body and into the space, it's realer than being in your body. There's things that you can do in this body that you can't do when you're on the other side, but there's a whole heap of other things that you can do when you're out of your body that you can't do in this physical vessel. One of the reasons we're here is to remember our way back home, to find our way back to our heart, back to source, back to love, back to the truth, back to justice, back to freedom and sovereignty. Another reason that we're here is to play the game. We're in one of the toughest training grounds in the whole multiverse. We choose to come down to planet Earth knowing that we're going to forget everything. And whilst everything is stacked against us, this whole human game, but you have to train for billions of years to come down to Earth. They don't just let any old soul down here, because they know this is like the SAS. This is like Navy SEAL training for souls. You got to be a galactic badass to come down here. That's why I respect everybody that does choose to come here and is here right now. This is one of the most beautiful times to be alive on Earth. Another reason that we're here is to remember how to be creator beings. Because when we were out there in the stars for billions of years, we were creating universes, galaxies, multiverses, planets, stars, different systems. And we've dropped through the densities into different dimensional spaces, these different frequency bands. And we're trying to figure it out and raise our levels to go back up again. Or maybe to go further in again. Maybe there is no up, maybe there is no in, maybe there's just different vibrational spectrums within the same space. Go into your heart, you'll know the answers to this. I don't have to tell you. You know everything that I know, and I know everything that you know. We've just forgotten bits and pieces, that's all. But you take a deep enough dive into here, and you're gonna remember everything, because there's nothing to learn and there's nothing I can teach you. That's why I say don't call me a master and don't call me a guru. I'm just a guide, I'm a mirror, I'm a trigger. And we live in this planetary environment which is full of smoke, full of mirrors, full of triggers. And every other human being is offering us the opportunity to experience more of ourselves. Beautiful. Anyone in this community that is encouraging you to hand your power over to God, to the universe, to Jesus, to some Palladian or Arcturian being, run a mile. Run a fucking mile. You want to be listening to the people that tell you that you are the power, even if you can't see it right now. Trust the process, meditate, breathe deeply, exercise, eat clean, intermittent fast, get early nights, look after your physical vessel, and take a deep dive into your cosmic heart and know the truth. Anyone that is steering you outside of yourself, run a mile. Run a mile. If people are telling you that you're the power, that you've got everything you need inside of you, listen to them. But still, use discernment and question. Go into your own heart and feel and know the truth. Don't believe in anything. Belief systems are all illusory. Belief systems are concepts based on thoughts, and all thoughts, when you trace them back to their origin, are based on time, distance, or measurement. Time, distance, or measurement don't even exist in the field. There is no future, there is no past. The ego only has power in the future and the past. When you're in that present moment, anchored in the truth, there's nothing else apart from now. And when you're anchored in the now, there's no injury, there's no illness, there's no disease. There's nothing apart from this present moment. Everything else just melts and transmutes. So as soon as you harness the present moment and you find a way of staying there, by shutting down this crazy, chaotic mind, you just expand beyond measure. You become everything and nothing at the same time. Your physical vessel is good for doing things in this human reality, but at the same time it kind of melts and disappears, and your consciousness expands out past the boundaries of your physicalness and through the multiverse. And you get connected to all things. And you realize how formidable you are, how powerful you are, how unfuckwithable you are. Healing should not be rocket science. Healing is easy. I've trained people from 8 years old to 98 years old, and everyone can do it. I've seen 8, 9, 10-year-old boys and girls remove tumors from people's bodies, correct spines, heal eyesight, all sorts, by using holograms at distance. I can get an iPhone, entangle the iPhone with a human being, and remove any disease. I can entangle a banana or a lampshade or a teddy bear or a water bottle with anyone and remove any kind of injury, illness, or disease. We live in a holographic universe, man. Everything can be shifted and changed, grown, taken down, reconstructed, because it's made out of frequency. We are living in one gigantic holographic supercomputer, and our body and brains, they are supercomputers, biological computers. If I want to heal another human being, first of all, I've got to know that I can't heal them. Nobody can heal anyone else. All we can do is set up an environment so the human being can self-heal. But what we can do is go into the back end of someone's biological computer, back into the source code, back into the blueprint, and tweak a few things. And then what happens is the environment is shifted, the frequency changes, and the human being heals on the front end because their body moves into homeostasis. It moves into that state of congruency, wholeness, alignment. And when the frequency flows and the energy is balanced, everything just works. We've just got to get out of the way. Get out of the way and let it happen. There are entities in this physical world. There are entities in this multidimensional environment. These interdimensional entities, we call them shadow parasites because they hang around in the shadows, but they behave just like normal parasites. Parasites take over the host, and these shadow parasites take over the human hosts, also animal hosts. And what they'll do is they'll feed off of the frequency, they'll feed off of the energy, they'll want to keep the human being in a low vibrational state. Humans that are addicted to drugs, alcohol, pornography, sugar, whatever it is, most of the time there's parasites, either inside the physical architecture or somewhere in the field. But they're controlling the human's like a robot. A lot of these people that are channeling messages, they're channeling bullshit. They're channeling messages that are being construed and mixed up and infiltrated by other beings that want a false agenda to be spread through this community. So people get lost, so people have the carrot dangled in front of them, so people put their faith and their trust in someone else coming to save them, which is never gonna happen. A being that is pure is always gonna say to you, here's a few tricks, here's a few bits and pieces of information, take them, use them, you can do this with them. But ultimately, you got to figure it out. We can't do it for you. No one can. This coming to save you pill, people have been swallowing it for a long time. And has anyone been to save us? Have they? Fuck. All you see on planet Earth is our water being poisoned, our air being poisoned, our food being poisoned, and all of the chemicals and all of these different things are being activated by 5G, okay? It's killing humans, but killing humans slowly. But we have the power to turn this around. There's been certain crazy, wild humans on this planet that have tried to set off nuclear weapons, and certain higher frequency beings have stopped those nuclear weapons going off. When it's going to be a major end of the world catastrophe, sometimes they've stepped in, but they've only stepped in and stopped that. They've not saved us. They've stepped in and stopped some kind of crazy annihilation and chemical infiltration of the planet through these bombs that would have gone off. But they've just left us to continue afterwards in the despair state that we're in. Now, we as a human species are so fucking powerful, man. Really we are. Really we are. The human body can take so much, okay? It can take so much. The body always adapts to its environment. You gotta stay strong, beautiful soul. You gotta get your mind focused and straight. You got to get your energy field balanced, your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual bodies. They've all got to be in equilibrium. Your Merkaba field's got to be spinning correctly. Your multi-dimensional Merkaba field's got to be activated. You need to get that holy grail magnetic and electrical frequency running through your body. When you start to activate your multi-dimensional architecture, no one can fuck with you, man. This community is well and truly infiltrated. Okay, so make sure you use discernment. And even these words that I'm sharing with you today, don't believe a single one of them, okay? Don't believe a single one of these words. Go into your heart and feel this information, okay? You decide if it's your truth or not. I don't care whether you do or you don't. All I'm gonna do is share the truth as I see it from my perspective, and if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, great. I'm still going to love you as my sister or brother and wish you well on your human path, your human evolution, and this ascension mission. Remember, we're all pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, and it takes many different pieces to make up the puzzle. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's just different ways. And it all harmonizes eventually when you take a higher perspective. It's just one ocean of consciousness. Like these physical bodies and these higher selves and these oversouls and these souls, these avatar bodies, they don't really exist because everything's part of one ocean of consciousness. Like waves out in the ocean coming into the shore. The waves are huge and then they get smaller and then smaller again, and eventually you get the higher self and the human body. But they're all connected out in the ocean to the whole. That's why separation is an illusion. It's an illusion. We're part of our environment. We're not muscles, bones, organs wrapped in a bag of skin and separate from everything else. We're super connected, plugged in on every level. Use discernment. Watch some of these podcasts that are sharing information. Watch how aligned the narrative is, okay? Actually ask, when you're listening to a podcast, is this information gonna benefit my daily life on this human planet? Are the things that someone is sharing, can I take this information and utilize it in my day-to-day living? And can it benefit me? Or are they just sharing information that sounds great, that feels great? Because even something shitty can feel great. Like when you're playing around in the multi-dimensional playing fields, I could look over and see my dead grandfather, my dead gran, my brother that passed away. I could see something that is supposed to be a Palladian or Arcturian or Jesus or Mother Mary or Kuan Yin, any of these ascended masters. But then I look a little bit deeper, I feel into it. I run certain frequencies through these beings, and I realize that it's a lower dimensional entity masquerading as something pretending to be something that I'm familiar with. And they can even feel amazing, okay? There's projection technology, there's all sorts of different types of technologies in the multi-dimensional playing field. And you've got to know them, okay? Otherwise you're gonna get turned over, you're gonna get infiltrated. When people are sharing information with you, it might feel great, but just really be still with it. Does it really feel good? When you sit with it for a little while, when you listen to the information, does it filter in nicely and you know, does it make you feel good after a little while? Or does the thoughts that are going into your head, does it feel like someone's scraping the inside of your consciousness and scratching the inside of your inner world? It just doesn't sit right, because it's not. If your gut instinct tells you stay away from it, man. Don't even second guess it. We are powerful. Listen to people that are helping you go into your own heart to discover the truth and the magic and the alchemy in every cell in your body. You got planets, suns, galaxies, universes and multiverses in every cell in your human vessel. You've got serious firepower that you can access, so go in and access it. Take control of your human experience. Start responding instead of reacting. Know that you're an unfuckwithable spiritual gangster Jedi alchemist from the stars who came to Earth to blaze a trail, to unify with your fellow sisters and brothers and make this world a better place. To recode the mathematics, upgrade consciousness, expand our hearts, and live as one. Wherever you are on this planet, beautiful soul, go out into the world and love your sisters and brothers fiercely and ferociously. Hug them tightly and never, ever, ever be the first to let go. It's the golden rule of hugging. You know that. Yes. It's a beautiful medicine. Remember to check out our website, starmagichealing.org. We got some of the best ascension tools on planet Earth. Hundreds of guided meditations, light language transmissions, cosmic yoga videos, breathwork, exercise, nutrition, mystery school teachings on hundreds of different subjects to help you raise your vibration, expand your consciousness, and step into your superhuman potential. We meet every Monday, Wednesday, and second Sunday online for high frequency transmissions, DNA activations, meditations, all sorts of cool, incredible, and powerful activations you can get involved in. We meet every second Sunday for Fearless Focus. Check it out, beautiful soul. Go and connect with beautiful souls just like you on this same ascension mission. And I'll see you real soon. Be the joker, be the jester, be the fool, have fun, laugh, don't give a fuck, and make up the rules of this human game exactly as you want. And I'll see you soon, man. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones. Plaster it all over social media. Everybody needs to hear this. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out, beautiful soul.